Welcome. My name is Harry Jacobs, and I am the North of 60 Gamer, and this is the North of 60 Gaming channel. And hello! Today I wanted to talk about my top five Canadian online retailers. Um, I wanted to have a conversation around them, show you who I'm using. I live in a remote area, so online is very, very important to me. Now, don't get me wrong, we do have a local gaming store and I do go in and buy things there on occasion. But for the most part, I am very highly dependent on bringing games in, especially the newer games. And so I thought I'd just go over some of my favorites just for you today. As Canadians, these are really good sites. As if you're from not from Canada, U.S. We they do ship to the U.S. Canadian prices, actually, fact. I'm not going to talk a lot about prices, but tend to be less than the US price because the dollar, Canadian dollar, is lower than the US. So your American dollar could actually go further in a Canadian store. We don't necessarily see that the other way around. So often I'll see a $50 game in the US for $50 here. So that would be a great buy. Now, it depends on the shipping, of course. Shipping is very expensive, as we know, and seems to be getting more expensive as we go along. COVID has not made things better. So if you're looking for games quickly, that doesn't seem to happen anymore. Canada Post for me used to be 6 days from East Canada, either Quebec or Ontario. Now we're talking 10 to 15 days, closer to 15 days, and in some cases it's been a month, like a full 30 days, and your watch boxes just sit in a location. But without any further ado, let's talk. First up, Sentry box. Now, this is not a online store. This is an honorable mention. This is not in my top five, but it is one of my favorite stores. It is in Calgary, Alberta. It is huge. It's about 13,000 square feet of games, miniatures, all that type of stuff. They have a good staff, and it's a fun place to go. If you want something online, you have to email them and say, hey, I want this game, and they'll tell you whether they have it and how much it costs to ship. I've done that a couple of times. Sentry box tends to be a little bit more on the pricier side, but it's not about price today. It's the Sentry box. If you go to Calgary, I definitely think this is a place you need to visit as a gamer. They also have a separate store for Magic, for those who like Magic. But this is a full service place. I like it. Next, we're going to take another honorable mention, and it's Apt To Games. This is one of my favorite stores in Edmonton, Alberta. Now, remember, I live in Yellowknife, and I frequently go at least once a year up until COVID, would go down once or twice a year and be able to go into Apt To Games. They do have online catalog. Their prices have been good. Uh, the delivery's been fine. I've used them a couple times. Shipping is about where you would expect it. Um, so not a bad place to deal with. I prefer to go in there. I love touching games, and that's what you miss on the online. You can go in, you can turn the box over, you can look at the box, you can talk to the staff about it. But an honorable mention here to Apt To Games. Again, not in my top five. Now let's hit the top five. First up, Board Game Bliss. This is one of the bigger online retailers. They're number five for a couple of reasons. What we'll get into, but they have a good selection. One of the best sort of import selections. They bring in war games, so they get a lot of one-off stuff that you don't see in sort of the major online guys, of the guys that we're going to talk about in a few minutes. So why are they number five? Well, basically because they really don't. I have bought, and I just got a game from them, Black Orchestra, a couple weeks ago, because they were the only retailer that had it in Canada. It's a second printing, and they had that and the one of the little expansions. So I did pick up Black Orchestra. My big beef with them is they don't. For my remote area, they do not follow their shipping policy, and it's a 18.95 shipping from these guys. And even if you go to 200 bucks, they don't ship it for free. though it says that specifically in their shipping policy. So I got a little beef. They don't get my order very often, but they do sometimes have something when I'm desperate to get it or I need to get it. It's the only place I can get it. So that is Board Game Bliss. They are not open at the moment. It's curbside or online only. Well, one of my favorite stores to visit downtown Toronto on Spadina, if you go to live in Toronto or visit Toronto, is Meeple Mart. Their site is not much to look at. They are competitive. Their shipping is, I believe, 12.95, so it's not terrible for me. They're very, very competitive. They are number four in my mind. They don't have as big a selection. They're not a huge store, but it is jam packed if you go down there. It is kind of fun. It's in Chinatown. So grab some really good food. But Meeple Mart is my number four choice for online. Doesn't get used very often. It's got to be a very specific thing that I'm looking for the price that I'm looking for. They do offer dings and dents, and as well as on sale items occasionally. The dings and dents really don't save you a lot of money. To me, oh yeah, we'll give you $3 off a $80 game. Well, no, I want my box. $3 is not enough for a damaged box. But they do have that. They have an awesome filter, but that is Meeple Mart. Number three, I really like this store. Oops, I don't have it up. How about that? There he is, Mr. Dice Guy. This is in Saskatchewan. I have never been to Saskatchewan, but he has had some good prices on games. It's not a big catalog. Have used them a few times, but the service and the communications with these guys are really good. He honors $12 shipping in Canada. He honors it. Free shipping over $200. I've never placed an order that big with these guys, but I do recommend Mr. Dice Guy. I've had emails with him. Absolutely great in communications. If you can find something in this store, I'd like to visit if I ever go to Saskatchewan. I don't know if I'm ever going to go visit Saskatchewan, but this is one of my number three store. Coming up, this is my number two store, the Imaginaire. It is in a couple of locations. It is in Quebec. It offers both French language and English language games. So you have to be careful when you're ordering. Their prices are super competitive. Their delivery is amazing. Typically, it gets here within 10 days now, 11 days. They have a wide range of sleeves, games, puzzles. It's not just a game store. You can see puzzles. We could go to board games if I can bring it up. There it is. There's the board games. Lots and lots of board games. They've got miniatures. There's your Ashes Reborn. Uh, Good shipping policy. They also have a what do they call those things? Point system, so that you can apply that to games. So every little while, I get a $10 or $20 off a game. In fact, I think one time I saved $40. So these are definitely a great place to buy. If I ever get to Quebec City again, I'm definitely going to visit this store. But this is my second favorite online store here in Canada. Now, the number one store, 401 Games. This is my favorite store. There's a couple locations in the Toronto area, one in Vaughan, one in Toronto, downtown. The Vaughan store is huge. It's a huge warehouse. I would debate whether the Sentry box is the biggest, being in 401 Games. It looks more like a warehouse though. But there's lots of people working there. They do ship from there. You can actually see them putting their orders together. So it is very much a warehouse. There's a wide selection of games on their shelves. The the Vaughan location is kind of amazing if you can get there. It is in a little industrial part in the middle of nowhere. So you have to want to go there. I live in Yellowknife. I'm 6,000 kilometers away, so I do visit when I get down there. I visit the downtown store, or I'll visit the Vaughan location. If I'm going downtown, I really love that downtown store. It's a little smaller. They did move to a better location, so they do have a bigger store down there. Lots of touchy-feely games. Their staff are amazing. Really like this store. Their prices are competitive. They have the lowest shipping in Canada, $8.95 for any product. If you hit that 150 mark, even in Yellowknife, they will ship it for free. And these guys impressed the heck out of me. So that is my favorite game store in Canada online. And you can see they have pre-orders. There's the Red Skull. That's pre-order? No, this must be a pre-order because of coming back in because Rise of Red Skull's already been out, I think. Anyway, and they like others. Whoops, what did I do here? You can see that you can go in and you can look at the new releases, and this is updated almost daily. Um, so these are new. I did buy. I just picked up this Navalier, the um, the expansion for it. This has been picked up. Things that are in my collection. I'm waiting for my fusion. I've had words with Roxley. I know there was an issue with Canadian shipping, and I'm still waiting for my version, even though it's in retail. But that's not for Wen's fault. Anyway, guys, I don't want to take this up too much time today. I kind of want to keep it short. Top 5 stores uh, in Canada. My opinion. If you think that you have a different store that I missed, put it down in the comments. If you like what you've seen today, subscribe, like, and hit the bell for notifications. This is Harry Jacobs signing off.